I'll start by saying this about the Packers. I'll start with the good about the Packers. Jordan Love is a top 5 quarterback in football this season, and I will fight anybody on that. Through 4 weeks, Jordan Love, he ranks in the top 6 in PFF grade. Take that for what you will. Everyone gets graded the same, so take it for what you will. Pass yards, he is 5th. Touchdowns, he is 6th. Interceptions, he is 3rd. He has the 3rd fewest. His passer rating is 3rd in the NFL. His yards per attempt is 4th, so he ain't just doing no dink and dunk now. His completion percentage over expected is 5th. His passing EPA, or expected points added, is 3rd. And his EPA per dropback is 2nd. And if you just watch him play, he's slinging. He still has a couple Jordan Love moments. We saw it against the Browns. But he is looking like his best form of Jordan Love. And I know that Cowboys defense is dog shit. Every quarterback has ran through them. They can't stop a parked car to save their life. So, I mean, but we're talking about the Commanders defense. They're talking about the Lions defense, the Browns defense. He still wasn't terrible, but the whole offense struggled, whatever. He's having a really good season. But if we're talking about specifically the Packers and the Cowboys, so this is where it gets ugly. And before we get into Micah Parsons, I had things to get off my chest about Matt LaFleur. He had his tail so incredibly fucking tucked, and yet again showed that when a team comes in and smacks that Packers offense in the mouth a little bit, or the Packers in general get smacked in the mouth, he is more useless than a shit-flavored lollipop more times than not. It goes stale. It goes bad. They start getting a lot of 3-and-outs. They can't rebound. They can't get rhythm. He let the clock tick down all of overtime against the Cowboys when they were just striding. They were coming off, I think, 3 or 4 scores straight. And then coming to overtime, and it's tick, 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 tick. No timeouts. They're just running. And obviously that last second where Jordan, they call play, and then it ticks down to 1 second. It could have lost them the damn game. The clock management was dog shit. The play calling was just, again, tail tucked as it gets. And then he has the balls in the presser to say that, we're confused about why there was no sense of urgency. Coach, you're the fucking coach. You're supposed to make sure that's a non-issue. This is year 7, and the press conference is the same thing after the same thing in these types of games. Like, we'll have to go watch film. I don't know how we got to this point. It's like, maybe we should ask the head coach of this team, huh? Maybe we should ask that guy, because this Matt LaFleur cat's got no fucking answers for 7 straight years on these things that a head coach should have some answers for. So that's getting really annoying. We're past the point of how annoying that is, and like I said, we're 7 seasons into this, and I'm going to say my thing about Parsons first, and then you can rip into him and everything else.
I'm letting you go. This is your team. Hey, listen, I see you got a little indirect anger though, and I'm gonna come back on that. I just don't think it's the offense or Matt LaFleur's. I don't think it's their fault. Now, granted, yes, that at the end of the game, the mismanagement of the time. Like I didn't think Jordan Love got that ball off in time for the 1 second. But I've played that position on the field. That has to be his thing. He has to run that show. He makes enough money. He's been around long enough to say, hey, Matt, you just send in the play. Everything else I got from here as far as timeouts, whatever. But I'm going to let you go because I got a different view on it because I thought the offense, Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur did more than enough to beat anybody in the NFL. Let's be clear. That offensive output with those receivers, the way Jordan Love has been playing, Jacobs, Dobbs to Golden, that's enough to beat any defense in the NFL. So I don't think that's where your problem lays. But let's go. Come on, give me what you got on Parsons.
Yeah, and it was fine. But again, when a game situationally things are going the way they're going, because 40 points, regardless if there's some bumps in the road, should win you. But hey, when it's not winning you the game, and there's obviously, I'm pretty sure every lineman on the Packers O line, besides Elton Jenkins, allowed 0 pressures. The rest of them all allowed 4+ pressures. And then the play calling got ultra conservative, and people can say what they will. But look, again, it's just one of those things. And we've seen this every year with LaFleur. He struggles once he gets smacked in the mouth. The offense struggles once he gets smacked in the mouth, and something tends to go wrong. This time it was the clock management was terrible. The play calling didn't match the situation, especially considering how the Packers were moving the ball, just for how that game kind of went away from, the way that overtime went was so confusingly stupid from a play caller and time management perspective. But hey, I'm Parsons. The good. 10 pressures is amazing. He had, I think, the highest PFF grade on defense this week. I think it was like 92. The bad. He did not show the fuck up until, in terms of like getting a sack and creating a negative play. Packers didn't have interceptions. They didn't have any like sacks. They could not get the Dak. So by the time, yes, Parsons saved that touchdown towards the end, sure. But that wasn't like the end of the game. Where's the sacks in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter? And I watched a ton of people posting clips on Parsons, and I'm not going to sit here and just blame refs, but he was getting hooked like a motherfucker all game. And, you know, a lot of clips of him getting hooked. The holding stuff's ticky-tacky. But I think the bigger problem for Parsons and the rest of that defense is Nate Hobbs on the perimeter. Like I said, might have been the single worst things I've ever seen with my eyes. George Pickens won every single route. No matter who was lined up across Nate Hobbs on the perimeter, they won. There was a play, I think it was Turpin. Dak threw it the other way, but Turpin was streaking down the field wide open. Dak just didn't see him. That was a gimme touchdown. Nate Hobbs was horrible. He was the liability of the season so far in that effort. But like you said, Jordan Love, he was incredible. Romeo Dobbs and that freaking bucket that he's got on his head. He had his career game with 3 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson in the backfield were running like a
Tucker Kraft is a tight end.
Still
man. He's
a
the
dog.
tight end. Yeah, he's the tight end. And the only thing that I say, Austin, is I understand Matt LaFleur that he's not so aggressive when he has leads and he's playing well, because like I know, I can't be too aggressive with Jordan Love, because he's going to do, if he hasn't done anything dumb while we got the lead, I'm just going to get a little bit less aggressive, because if I get too aggressive, Jordan Love is going to throw the ball away. Like I know, if I get too aggressive with my play calling and just give him the gunslinger mentality, and I get it, he's playing well, but he's going to give the other side the ball. Listen, all I'm just telling you is I've told people I've watched every game for the Dallas Cowboys for the past 4 years. It was funny because I watched it this week just because I know you're a Packers fan, but I don't actually watch them anymore. But Micah Parsons, first 4 years, I've seen every game, every second, every minute. He only plays against weak teams, trash-ass tackles, and weak-ass offenses. The moment you get a team that can run the football, they got a subpar tackle. In 4 years, he hasn't developed another move but to try to dip his shoulder and go around the edge. You're not going to speed rush and beat everybody anymore. And granted, they're not going to call that hook because he's going underneath their arm. He's doing the same fucking play that he did last year, the year before, his first year. I'm just saying, when you look at other people's defenses, when you look at the Max Crosby's, you look at the Nick Bosa's, you look at the Myles Garrett, you don't have to wait to the fourth quarter to hear their name. Ever. And we're talking run game. Max Crosby looked like the best player on defense this Sunday. I mean, I don't know if you see that game.
Oh, yeah, he looked nice.
Man, he was and to me, I thought everybody thought that was the missing piece for y'all defense, that we knew the DBs were going to be bad. You said it coming in this year. Your DBs are going to be terrible. You didn't have any faith in them. But we thought Micah Parsons would slow things down. He's terrible. And y'all can't.
Terrible's a stretch. Come on, terrible's a stretch.
So who y'all think y'all gonna be playing in the NFC Championship game, or even in the second round? Trust me, you're gonna have and listen. Penei Sewell owns him.
Oh, he did good against. I guess that was he? I can't remember.
No, he didn't play that much. Yeah, and he didn't play good. But listen, y'all are gonna have a good line, a good run, and this is my only thing. The Cowboys, to me, just didn't have a great game plan toward. They didn't even run towards him enough in my eyes, and I know his weaknesses. You got to run at him and run towards him, and that's going to slow him down even more. I'm just saying, Austin, I just don't see y'all winning the Super Bowl with that defense. And once again, y'all paid that man a lot of money to be a game changer.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, not wait to the last minute to stop them from getting sick so we get a tie. No, dominate this game so we're up by 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and we're chilling, playing Malik Willis and a bunch of bench guys that want to get in the box scores. But listen, I told you, you should have listened because I've seen him play every game before. He's gonna go in his shell in big games, and I bet you y'all next big game when y'all play Detroit again, he's not gonna be anywhere to be found because they're heating up too. So understand it. We thought that their coordinators losing them was gonna hurt them. Y'all defense got to either make a change soon with a D coordinator. I mean, I don't know. Something has to happen. And granted, I just don't think Dallas offense without CeeDee Lamb should have scored 40 points.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked. That was pathetic. There's no way around it. It was bad. It was all around
George
bad.
Pickens is not a superstar. He's not. I don't care what he makes. One or two great catches of the game. He caught like a stop one play, spent out. I said, God, just wrap him up. And then I said, y'all DBs, oh my God.
It was bad.
I mean, y'all,
Nate Hobbs got murdered. We watched murder on TV, and it was anytime Nate Hobbs was on TV. Like the tight end, I remember who they had that late touchdown to. That was Nate Hobbs in coverage. That George Pickens double coverage catch, that was because of Nate Hobbs. There were so many, and he had one of the worst PFF grades. But here's, like you said, Parsons is paid to be a difference maker. We got him to be a difference maker, not just get pressures, but sacks, no matter the situation. But you do got to walk a fine line, is because, again, he's one of those guys, one of the few guys when he's on the field, there's a specific game plan for him, and it impacts the rest you can do on offense. It takes away things. It makes you have to do extra focus, extra blockers on one guy, and generally speaking, that frees up other dudes. We've kind of seen the effect this year with Rashawn Gary now leading the Packers in sacks, because there's no more chipping Gary. There's no more doubling Gary. All the attention's over to Parsons, so now Gary is flying free. Lucas Van Ness is getting more looks, so there is that impact that's still it's like Christian Watson on offense. Christian Watson might finish the game with 2 catches for 60 yards and a touch, but what he does in terms of taking the top off, defenses have to respect that. You have to apply a safety to Christian Watson every time he's on the field, and that opens up everything underneath then. So he might not show up on the stat sheet, but his impact was felt in a way. But yes, Micah Parsons being the player he is, the amount he's paid, the amount they gave up for him, need a bit more than that. And it's funny, Parsons right now has the second highest pressure percentage of all edge rushers this season with 50% or 50 or more snaps. Second highest. Rashawn Gary, on the flip side, has more sacks than him, but has the third slowest time to pressure of all edges this season. And this is one I found really crazy, is that Lucas Van Ness has a faster time to pressure for the Packers than Parsons and Gary, but is the least seen on the stat sheet. It's a very interesting thing in terms of when you consider those stats from those 3 players, the Packers' primary 3 edge rushers. Yeah, I'm comfortable moving on. I've said my piece. That was pathetic. That should never have. That was pathetic. Besides Jordan Love, thank God for Romeo Doubs being just so sticky. His hands are so sticky, man. I've loved Doubs. He doesn't not get enough respect for how consistent he is, and he's a red zone weapon. He's one of those guys. You wouldn't think of Romeo Doubs as he's a go get a bucket guy in the red zone, but my gosh, besides maybe Tucker Kraft, Romeo Doubs is just my he's like James Jones reincarnate. Yeah. James Jones reincarnate. Once James Jones started getting good and you can just throw him the ball in the red zone, he's coming down with that thing. But yeah, that's that. How about let's flip the coin now and let's see what you got to say about your Ravens and the Chiefs. Let's expand on that one a little bit. A lot of things going wrong for the Ravens, but you tell me what are your thoughts coming out of that Ravens Chiefs game?